Hi there. Okay, so another week, another album. I will try and do, or at least start, two albums this week. Here's the first of them, and this is going to be an oldie but agaga goldie, whereas the other one will be a newie but a gooey, and it's going to be lovely both times. Uh, I really like both of these albums. The one today, let's lo and behold, there we are. One of my all-time favourites, one that I believe does not get nearly the appraisal that it deserves, and so here I go appraising the the life out of it. Presumably, let's see if it can survive strong. I love all these songs, but this album has an interloper, which is It's Only Us, which was not on the original one that I'm familiar with, and therefore I will be, when we get up to that, absolutely trashing it for the previous song, which is something entirely different. But until we get to that, let's just imbibe and enjoy. Yeah. So that, just to begin with, sadly we are tuned too high to emulate. A lovely electric guitar just going all the way through the strings on a lovely low E flat chord. Nicer than that one. I have only just tuned, so leave it alone. Leave it alone. But that, yeah, lovely strum through, and then as we get to the top note, there's this higher guitar with the high G sharp coming through. I might be doing this, which is an acoustic guitar, slightly more present, but the other one comes in earlier and bang, leads us in. Yeah, we've got two acoustic guitars, one in each ear. And they're doing just some straightforward chords in kind of a cool rhythm. Is it right? Let's just check that again. Yeah. So yeah, so it's got a little bit of a swing to it, but it's very relaxed, and then there's this nice other guitar doing a bit of a soloing kind of thing. A little bit distorted, but not very much. I really like that. Yeah. Which is just very iconic. Just straightforward into the piece. After that, you've got this really soft, laid back intro, and then this crunchy guitar just soars over the top of it as the drums fill and everything comes in as well. Oh, lovely. What else is coming in here, eh? The bass, really nicely, kind of Paul McCartney-esque. That might be giving it a bit too much credit, but anyway, it do comes in with a very walking bass little number. So all of these things doing a little bit of a lick at the same time there. and then into the same chord sequence. So we've got this very strong backbeat, pretty classic, just boom, da, dum, bum, ba. But then there's this, swung semiquaver. I think it's probably a tambourine, but it might be a tambourine on the hi-hat. Ooh, the police have just turned up. I hope I didn't do it this time. Maybe they've gone. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah. Triplet semiquaver hi-hat going tick 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 tick, which is really nice, like something I associate more with jazzier types of music, or even like reggae. So I don't know, bring in a laid back feel to this, even if it's not the standard place where you would expect that. Yeah, sorry, I have been playing that wrong. Yeah. So that's the end. Yeah, cool. It's better that way. And then we've got these chorus voices. Just ah. While the guitar still keeps the foreground there going. Which is reminiscent of. Oh no, I've forgotten. She's got a smile that it seems. Yeah, whatever that is. Sweet Child of Mine. It's reminiscent of Sweet Child of Mine. Not to give it faint praise at all, and not to make illusions of grandeur that it doesn't deserve. Anyway, I really love Robbie Williams. Robbie Williams is so meaningful to me in my general being. And I wish that, that he would be considered among the greats. I feel that without intervention, this is not going to happen. But he's so amazing, so exciting a performer, so good a singer, so good a songwriter, and especially these early things with Guy Chambers. And well, I would also include Escapology without Guy Chambers as one of these tip-top early Robbie albums. God, there's just such good stuff on. But we must get past the intro. Let's just talk about these chords then. So we had E major, or E flat major. This one's not quite so clear, but like an F minor 7 kind of thing. A flat. That's a classic sort of B flat sus4, then major, then sus2, then major. So we've got this going, and then when we get back to the E, it's back to E, D sharp. Oh, okay. Let's say E flat, D, C, B, D. Sorry. And then E flat. It's amazing how much retuning the guitar messes you up. But then the second chord sequence, you would expect it to be exactly the same, but it isn't. We have an F sharp major chord this time rather than the F sharp minor or F sharp minor 7. A major chord that then turns to a minor, does it? There's the major. No, you just go straight to it. Okay, straight from that F major, not F sharp major. I'm gonna repeatedly mess that up. And I'm gonna retune after this song, I think. A flat, and then to the same kind of So it's the same chord sequence, but one of them we have a minor 7 chord on the 2 of the key. 1, 2, normal 4, normal 5. And then the second time we have the major 2. So that's really putting us into like, it was 20 years ago today, such a pepper top to play. Or there are loads, but they all go from my mind. I really like Let Love Rule by Lenny Kravitz. You got to let love rule. But most of those go 1, 2, 4, back to 1. Whereas this has the 5 on the end. So it's sort of sweetening itself, not quite giving the old rocker vibe that definitely is there, but it's just making it a little more palatable.
My breath smells of 1,000 fags, so when I'm drunk I dance like me dad. I've started to dress a bit like him.
Yeah, the bass drum, the kick drum, we've got a nice offbeat, triplet offbeat going on. We get it on the first beat, boom, ta, boom, boom, pa. So that's boom, ta, boom. You know, it's that one. So if you think 1 E and 2 E and it's there, which is great. Really sticks out in this quite sparse texture. We've only got a few guitars, a few acoustic guitars, maybe not even bass. Let me just check that. Oh no, okay, we do have bass, but yeah, really not that much going on otherwise, apart from Robbie on top. Really quite a cool melody. No, I've heard this probably 100 times, but yeah, okay. It's because it's a little bit unclear. The smells of 1,000 fags. Cigarettes, I should make clear. When I'm drunk, I dance like me dad. So we've had 1/5 jump down there. Another 5th jump down, so they kind of feel linked in that particular way, which is quite fun. We don't get that in the next bit though. Started to dress a bit like him. So that's just like the bit before, but without the 2 notes that stick out. So you could argue this is like a interesting A, boring B to this melody.
An early morning when I wake up, I look like kiss but without the makeup, and that's a good line to take it to the bridge.
Now, having said there's not that much going on in the backing, there are some nice little individual things, which is very indicative of this kind of music, this power pop from the 90s. There's intricacies to it, and I mean it goes on into pop music into the 2000s as well. Real massive intricacy, real subtle niceties to the production, which are worth going into. So yeah, it's not much here. There's a little bit of an electric guitar adding a bit. Yeah, there. There's like something like that in the left ear, which is nice. And then there's a nice harmonic. Which one is it? It's none of them. It's that one. Oh, okay. So it's that. Okay, fine. Easy. Oh, but it feels like actually we've got both of those. Ah, okay, yeah, that works. So that's 12th fret and 7th fret. Nice. idiomatic and nice. Sounds nice. Yeah, obviously the lyrics here are amusing. I very much enjoyed them as a 7-year-old, and I still do. Yeah, I look differently on them now. More in a this is me, isn't it? Obviously, not all of them. I don't drink. I don't. I don't smoke. Uh, I probably dress a bit like my dad. Um, and certainly, yeah, in the early mornings when I wake up, I look like this, but without the makeup. And that's a good line to take it to the bridge. Meta. I don't like those kinds of things. I always thought they were a bit too cool, but there we are. They're quite fun, aren't they? Anyway, moving on. Okay, so slightly thicker texture. The electric guitar seems a bit more prominent now, which is nice. We've gone minor basically, so we've got that F minor 7 chord going to a C minor chord afterwards, and the melody's getting higher. Before we were really low. Going down to C sharp, C down here, but now we're all around the top strings for the melody. So, and you know, 'cause my life's a mess. We're going up to G there, okay. Which is, a significant amount higher, much more sort of tension to the way he's singing. More serious in the lyrics as well, really, isn't it? Oh dear, I apologise. I am suffering somewhat at the moment. So it's getting a little more intense, leading us towards the chorus. Right, this is a pre-chorus, classic pre-chorus, leading us to a chorus. And I'm trying to grow, so before I'm old, okay, so first set of those pre-chorus chords. Then second set, we have this, and quite nicely, this goes along with the it doesn't quite go along with it, but the melody goes along with that. Something like that. My playing is not perfect today, but yeah, they're adding notes to the chord. They're not, then adding notes together again, then not again. And then really nice. We're back with the major F chord, and the melody lovely dips into falsetto. You think that I'm strong, and then we're back in the strong low voice. Beautiful stuff. Really, yeah. Because we're chomping at the bit before that. For I'm old, I confess you, and then we just drift up into the falsetto, and it all sort of cools down again. Even though it's built up, and we've also got the harmony vocals back again. But now they're singing lyrics, in fact, along with the voice. So we actually get kind of chords of voice while the melody does, what it does. What's that going to be? Yeah, strong. fun stuff. It's the subtlety of the bass, the drum part here is quite nice. That is really, it's emphasizing what seems to be the what do you call it? It is the offbeat, but like the main offbeat more than the 16th offbeats. The 16th offbeats are there, but it feels like we've got the eighths really nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they're all very, very clear coming through, whereas the other ones are just a tiny bit of added detail to keep everything flowing in this very relaxed swing vibe. Yeah, same thing there. It's a really nice melody. I don't know why it's so good. It's quite nice that you think we would resolve when we get to the F chord onto song, but we don't. We go song, and we add the ninths to that chord. That's really nice. And then we do a similar thing on the next chord. My song. We go up to the major seventh of that chord on the A flat chord, and then we actually don't do that on the final chord. My song, my song. We actually just go my song and let the be the moving part, which I think is a fairly literary thing to do, or something like that. Yeah, it's quite nice. Jolly good. Moving on. Is this just going to be the same? Well, we've got different ad-libs, and we've got some nice bass there coming through, but so far it seems very, very similar. Different lyrics. Teach me things I don't need to know. Yeah, the electric guitars are just a bit more present, just a bit louder, probably, and doing maybe a tiny bit more than they were doing in the first verse. So it seems a little bit more moving, which is, it's subtle, it's nice. There's no need to overdo it. Okay, we got some R's there. Did we have those the first time? I didn't notice them if we did. No, we didn't. Okay, so this time. Yeah. Oh, and it's nice as well, actually. It's not just that, it is... Yeah, we've got a whole minor 9 chord there, F minor 9, held in those voices. And they come back again. Yeah, big smashy fill there from the drums. Very, very satisfying, and the crash coming early, but then also on the first beat of this chorus is so yeah, exhilarating. It sounds, especially the backing vocals do sound a little bit staid, like they're not trying very hard to sound impassioned, which I'm in two minds about, but you know, that's just how it is. Yeah, it's just how it is. Oh, and where are we now? In the bass. Did in the melody. So are we on a D chord? D chord or D flat chord? D flat chord. Well, I guess so. It sounds like there's one extra note in there. Yeah. Can't actually hear the A actually. So we might be on a B minor in first inversion, which is totally not where we expected to be. B flat minor in first inversion. Our B flat major is our 5 chord here. So to get from to there, that's quite a weird change. Quite a weird change. We're changing that D to a D flat, playing it extra heavily in the bass, in the melody even. Just out of nowhere that's coming. And then yeah, we've not even like modulated in a clever way. We've just kept the same chord going, but it's now the minor version of the same chord, and the bass is really emphasizing that difference. Really interesting idea. We've got a wah guitar going on as well, which is great fun.
If I did it all again, I'd be a nun. The rain was never cold when I was young. I'm still young.
Very different texture, because the main moving bit is that wah guitar and Robbie's singing. The wah, it's kind of going like that. That's the way to emulate a wah, is to do it with your mouth and then just play normally on the guitar. If you don't have a wah, what else are you going to do? That's the way to do it. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's that B minor triad going through there. The acoustic guitar, I think there's only one now, is just playing the chords. Let's just check what those chords are again.
If I did it all again, I'd be a nun. The rain was never cold when I was young. I'm still young. We're still young.
Okay, and it plays 4 times there. But so those chords are pretty interesting altogether. So we get that B minor on B flat minor on D flat. We then get an A flat chord, like we've had some of those before. The F minor, we've had some of those before. C sharp 7. Oh my goodness! So that's taking us back to the F minor. That's like the dominant of that. But that's not actually where we go. We again go back to the other one. Let's just check what else is going on in this section. Nice. Okay. So much more sparse drum part as well. So the drums are really only playing on the main beats, on 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've still got the backbeat with the snare coming on 2 and 4, but that's basically all we've got. Okay, there is also the fastest open hi-hat closing on the first beat, just coming in at the end of the 4th beat into the 1st beat. There's no bass as well. Oh, maybe there is. It's come in there, I think. Let's just check. It's there. And then it disappears, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so it comes in there and it emphasizes that strange melody. Step inside now. Going back to, yeah, I think the F sharp after that. Which is not an F sharp, it's an F. And then, yeah. Life's too short to be afraid. Step. And then, yeah, we're going somewhere else. So we still get that B minor chord, and we still get the A, but then nice. Step inside the sun. which I really like, especially because then we're back to our key with the E and the F sharp, major chords, E flat and F, major chords. Just imagine that I'm doing this all up a semitone and then down a semitone because I just can't commit. That's what we've got though, isn't it? That's what we've got. Fantastic stuff. Okay. Well, we have a nice guitar solo coming up. Let's just have a brief look at what those chords could be. So, that's basically what's happening there. Okay, so really, it's as straightforward as it could be. I really imagine A flat to G. It's not G. It's an E flat major chord with G in the bass, and then F minor. Then you can call this a B flat 13 if you like, because we've got the 16th in the melody there, but it's really just an échappé, escape note going downwards before we go back up, which is so lovely. And it does mean that we get those 4 semitone different notes in the melody right next to each other, which is lovely. It's rare that you can get away with that. That's the bit I really, really like. Yeah. Because it's so, I mean, it's obviously very well composed, but nonetheless it has a wild feeling to it. Yeah, it feels like an exciting bit of guitar, and that, and then yeah, this next bit is good too. Okay, and it's all over the chords we would expect from the chorus there. In fact, maybe it's over the chorus and the verse chords, but whatever, you can go back and check it. I've spent way too long on this song already. Okay, this is our classic. Is it? Hey! Gosh, my voice is suffering today. Yeah. What was that? We were just expecting to go straight back in again. We got the nice beginning with the nice extra R chord. You know, 'cause my love's a mess. I'm trying to grow. But then we did not get so before I'm old, I confess. What did we get? Let's hear it again. Yes. And I'm trying to grow. That is quality. Absolute quality. Unnecessary from anyone's perspective. Just listening to the song, they would be really just fine and happy to go into that chorus again in the same way, but above and beyond the call of duty here. Trying to grow. So we were on this F minor chord, and then instead of going to a B flat chord, 5 of the key, we go one higher. We go to a C flat chord, C flat, up, and we're just holding that E flat along with that. And then we go to a D flat chord, and then a slightly bluesy lick into the into the chorus. Fantastic, unnecessary, and there's also loads of other lines going on at the same time. So let's hear it one more time. So there's something that comes down, something like that, and then there's these bars in the harmony vocals going, which is adorable, and all of that together, none of that has been heard before in the song. And then you've suddenly got 3 bits of information at least, as well as just a dropout of the drums for a moment, which just leads us to a completely different reaction to what we've experienced in the rest of the song. Fantastic stuff. There is actually still a kind of shaker on the beats, but yeah. And then these just aren't these drums, like these fills are just so characterful. It's just lovely. I can't emulate them, and I can't really explain what's going on with them very accurately, but they're really, really exciting. Anyway, we're back into the chorus. That I think we get all of these notes in the harmony vocals there, which is really filling out that B flat chord, B flat 7 chord. And these ones are actually moving with Robbie a bit closer, which is interesting, because I believe that previously they'd been going, you think that I'm strong, around, but now they're going more like, think that I'm strong, around, which is a difference, and a different octave too. Not the cleanest line, but quite a nice one. Whoa. So that's like A, B. Lovely. We had basically the same thing. Whoa. And the second one. Whoa. We had an extra note to it. Whoa. Back to the first one. Whoa, whoa. Different one, but it still has the same kind of feel. So grade 3 melody writing tick. Life's too short to be afraid. Take a pill to numb the pain. You don't have to take the blame. Really, really nice. It's so nice as well, but with both of these previous things. This is the same chorus we've heard all before, but with just an extra bit of melody on top, doing a different thing. Now, I wonder whether they tried layering that with this new bit. I don't know if they did, but to me it doesn't seem like they should get in the way of each other that much. But nonetheless, it's working with the backing, doing "You think that I'm strong, you're wrong" all the time, and that's really nice in itself. This is polyphony. This is 2 different melodies at the same time, which is the best. so underused in pop music, and I don't know why. Maybe just because it's a little bit confusing to listen to sometimes when you're like, oh, but I thought that was the melody. Now this is the melody. You can have two. You can have two melodies, and it's totally fine, and it even sounds better quite a lot of the time. And this is one example. I also really like that we're reusing that "Life's too short to be afraid" line, which you might not have remembered, but it's in the "Life's too short to be afraid" on our bridge before "Step Inside the Sun" happens. We're reusing it now in the outro chorus, and we add a bit more to it. Life's too short to be afraid. Take a pill to numb the pain. You don't have to take the blame. Wow, my voice is unforgiving. I have some kind of chest infection at the moment, I believe. Based on someone around me had a chest infection, and now I do. Oh, now I'm ill. So, anyway, yeah, it's a really nice thing. Anyway, I think that's more or less how it goes from now on. It's also such a subversive message for a pop star to be giving out, isn't it? Maybe it was all the rage in the 90s, I suppose, to just encourage you to be the laziest version of yourself. I don't know. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite nice, especially that it's, it's a rather masculine figure with very nice eyes who's saying, I'm actually much weaker than you think. Yeah, I don't know. I find so much to adore in this man. I'm going to retune my guitar just so that I can't believe I tuned it down there purely for the first chord of that, which, if you've forgotten, goes, yeah, very nice strum through. I did it and it sounded crap, and then I continued to have it in that and made loads of errors about whether things were flat or not. Anyway, here now we are in the relative minor from where we were, which is really nice. Album programming. This is actually a guitar part. I'm gonna have to work it out. That's hard if that's what's going on. Maybe it's two guitar parts. It sounds like it's doing that. While there's a C in the bass. No. Which is kind of lovely. Yeah. So you've got that guitar part, which is seemingly finger-picked across an electric guitar. Lovely. Giving you, well, I mean, it settles into a C minor chord, or a C minor 7 chord. But that has an added, seventh, but also a 13th, a flat 13th that then goes into the chord. So maybe that's just a passing note, but it gives it a bit of more darkness than you would expect. That just sounds pretty inert, whereas that sounds, oh yeah. And then we've got this same B flat chord again, with the sus4 on it. We haven't got the sus2 this time though. and the is really fun. It's basically that. Which is, yeah, quite a fun line, and it sounds sort of spirally. It's quite in the background, and it's quite delay-y, so yeah, so it feels very different to the guitar, which is a more biting sound because it's more what, and then bow has just come in as well, a low held C in the bass. And there's also some distorted drums happening as well, just keeping us in time, not taking too much room away from everything else. Everything sounds quite sparse though, especially compared to the thickness that we had in Strong. And then that clear angel over the top, so sweetly singing that, so clear. Everything else feels a little bit in the head, doesn't it? Sounds like it's in your head and it's just mind music, but then this guy is really speaking in front of you and asking you something. Also, I want to say that my wife thinks this is one of the worst album artworks of all, but I think it's really good. So there. So I can understand where she's coming from. It's not something we're going to have a domestic about, but I don't know. It's suave and exciting to me. So there we are.
Will we all change? And we live our life.
And we live our lives together. Just an unexpected jump there. It's quite nice. It puts me in an unusual place, I think, that particular vocal line. So, but interesting, we talked about polyphony just now, and we've basically got that here. We've got that. We've got that line from the synth doing that, and then we've got doing that, and then we've got Robbie Williams, tell me a story, doing his own thing over the top. 3 different melodies going on at the same time, and it's not as if they're written like counterpoint where one finishes and then the other takes over. They're just taking up the space that they need for whichever thing it is. They're kind of in different ranges at different times, so that fits them a little bit better. But nonetheless, I mean, it's not exactly asking very much from you to be able to hear all those things, is it?
I didn't lose my mind, it was
I didn't lose my mind, it was G minor. I kind of didn't expect G minor, but it's definitely a chord we could have had. It comes with a little bit of tension to it, thinking, are we getting darker, or are we actually just going to be going back to our main place? It's the dominant, but it's not working like a dominant should. What did you just do? You added the major note, or the major 7, or the major 3rd of this chord, and the sharp 7 of the key. So now we're going to go back to C minor, and it's going to be a lovely perfect cadence. Back down to F minor. We haven't been there since the previous song. We were expecting there. I didn't lose my mind, it was mine to give away. the melody goes where you expect it to. And it used my mind, it was mine to give away. That would make loads of sense. That isn't what happens though. My mind, it was mine to give away. So beautiful. It feels like a narration of those words. It was mine to give away, and I did give it away. And whoever took it didn't want it. They just put it over some other chord. Metaphors. Okay, and then just to finish off, very similar chords between that F minor 7 and that A flat major 7 there. But all new chords to this song.
Couldn't stay, so watch me cry. You didn't have the time, so I softly slip away.
Oh, okay. Little harp tinkle of really high in the harp's range there, and cymbal. What do you call that again? Let's call it a cymbal trill. That's definitely not the right word for it, but yeah, just going getting louder and louder. A cymbal crescendo maybe on the cymbal. My ear is starting to pain me, which is no fun. But yeah, what a strange section. We felt really dark, and we felt like we were getting real sort of emotional abuse territory. But then we finished on the B flat, leading us to, it feels very sweet way to end, very like the previous song. I'll never forget. Oh, it's not that. So are we going now to a relative major? Oh. No, we aren't. So we go back to the F minor 7, and we've got no regrets over the top, which is the well, what notes is it? It's B flat and G, but neither of those notes are in that chord. No regrets in octaves there. It's what we had, interestingly. We had it there in the previous thing, but now it's over this chord. So that's the 11th and the 9th of that chord, just filling it out. They're totally unrelated though. But then we do go to the C minor, and well, we've had it over that before, the 7th and the 5th of that chord. That's nice. It's really nice. Yeah, I don't know how you could make it a different thing with that chord. I don't think it would work so well. No regrets. That's if it was a little bit lower. I don't know. And then they don't work. I'm not trying to rewrite these songs, but I'm just experimenting with other options. But having the same thing there, you know, it therefore feels a connection between these two things, and a pretty catchy bit of melody. It's very simple, just two notes, no regrets, they don't work, with a work as well. Just a little scoop.
They don't work.
Oh, it's a bit more than a scoop, I suppose. Work. All right. Obviously, also the texture's got much more full now. We've got yeah, some hi-hat things. They sound a bit distorted, like slightly weirded technologically, but I can't quite work out what's going on there. The bass is the real new thing, though. Yeah. is just doing solid semiquavers. Obviously this song is a lot more straight than the previous one as well, and it's really driving now in this section, whereas it was much more airy and open-ended in the previous section. Now it's just moving. We've got slightly more thicker guitars as well. Okay. Yeah, so what's going on with the hi-hats is that they're in both ears. They're kind of like about here in this ear and about here in this ear. And they're a little bit out of sync. They sound it's a very strange sound. All encompassing in a strange way. Yeah, hard to put your finger on. It's unnerving. Maybe that's what the song needs. So now we get the same chords, just going, yeah, actually with the same chords as the pre-chorus, interestingly. No, it's not. What am I talking about? It almost is, but it's not. It's F minor to C, F minor to B flat, and then back again. And now we've got an extra bit to the chorus with some different lyrics, which is sing me a love song, which works a little bit. It works like mine to give away there, and we get an echo as well from the backing vocals, which I believe are Mr. Man, who I've forgotten the name of. Is it Neil Tennant from Pet Shop Boys? So yeah, the voice coming back is actually not a perfect echo. It's also the second time a totally different melody. So the first time, what do we have? Sing me a love song, sing me a love song, drop me a line, which is no regrets. So that's easy. Should be easy to emulate that. But then what's he do? Drop me a line. And why does he do that? Well, maybe to get us back to the F minor chord. No, but no, it's not that. Oh, it's a scuzzy one. It's a D minor 7 flat 5, D half diminished. Suppose it's just a point of view. And you can hear all those notes being carried through in a very washy guitar. It's not very clear, but it's there. Suppose it's just a point of view. Maybe it's only the... Can I hear that? Let's just check it one more time. Oh yeah, that's totally there. And that's a really nice bit of melody. Suppose it's just a point of view. So we haven't used this note very much for the melody. Drop me a line. And now I think that's maybe the first time it's been used, which is such an underrated technique for melody writing. Keep one note for a really emotional thing. It doesn't have to be a chromatic note. It can be something in your main melody, or in your main scale for the key. But if you just leave it until an important moment, it's going to resonate like a new thing, and it's going to be a lot more powerful just by having that note, waiting to use it for that particular moment. And that's this moment for this. Suppose it's just a point of view, and it feels totally different to stuff we've had before, and that's really nice. That change from this to this. So we've gone from D half diminished to G7. It's such a classic chord progression, almost classical chord progression. Now surely we would have a perfect cadence. Let's see. But also think about the melody here. But they tell me. Yes, we had a perfect cadence, but it was admittedly to a minor 7 chord, so that we don't quite get that. It's which is kind of cool. I've never thought about that before, But that is a very, because you're giving the people what they want, the people being the music nerds, but then you are also just using subterfuge to get around giving it such a bland basic ending. So that's really nice. Yeah, 2, 5, 1. We're in jazz territory. We're in every territory. As that happened, another melody came in. But this beautiful octave jump. But they tell me, just like that, I'm doing fine, which is lovely. But as it happens, which is something that will come as a main staple of this song going on. But it happens there once. We're still driving, and it's actually in octaves, like that. There, it's a little bit different, isn't it? So we end on the B flat this time, whereas we ended on the C before. And we're back to the original chord sequence. There's some really interesting textures, or things in the texture from different instruments, timbres. Like there are some strings coming through, very reverby strings, syrupy strings, but and then there's more plinky piano kind of sounding things. But everything is just a little bit warped. It doesn't quite feel like anything's being truthful with us. And this song is very untruthful, I feel. We've got some extra vocals come in there, holding the 7 of that chord. Very, very important to get the 7 there. Now we actually do have some proper counterpoint. So Robbie goes, I know from the outside, and then when they're gonna stop, is that what it says? When they all stared, coming from Neil Tennant, right? So we've got two voices taking their turns, essentially answering each other. Good for each other. So people said, felt things were going wrong when you didn't like my mother. And that one's a really interesting one because the melody, as we had it, this is similar to the original verse. The phrase, the third phrase was longer, and we lived our lives together. And this is the same thing here. Felt things were going wrong when. And therefore the other voice doesn't try and interrupt that. It lets it have that longer phrase and then go into the fourth phrase without contributing. Very subtle, but really nice compositional technique. And then it was all in your head takes us to the next chord. Well, you know, it would have sung the same note if we'd gone back to the C minor, but whatever. We've gone to the G minor. It's nice. We've got a little bit of a flourish as that happens. These classy drums again. In this section, by the way, we do have that coming through again. Yeah, just a bit of a crash on the beginning there. It's so rich. There's so much going on. Just thirds, man. I don't want to hate, but that's all you love me with. But two different melodies, but they're going in thirds together. But as well as that, we've just got an extra instrument in here. Which sounds like harpsichord sample or something. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it's doing this kind of thing. Maybe even and it's just a different. It feels like nothing else that's in this texture. It's a little bit sharper, a little bit more present than a lot of things here. So it's just adding an extra thing, but you know, it's not taking away anything from anything else. It's just adding its own extraness, and moving the song forwards in a new, you know, without it sounding stale at all. Like, it's sounding very, very exciting. And then another bit of counterpoint. We've just finished. All you've left me with. Bow, 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 bow. It's just a little thing. It's so good. Okay. I noticed them. They were very subtle in the background, but there was brub, brub, brub. This kind of thing from the harp again, lower down in its range this time. And when we get to How We All Could Live, which is more comfortable for me down the octave at the moment, the harmonies drop out, so they're going in a fantasy, and then Robbie just carries on of how we all could live on his own. And so it feels more open and, well, more honest, but also more poignant, more emotionally raw. There is also something else that drops out there. Is it the guitars? Yeah, I think so. It's something in the main bulk, so I imagine it's got to be guitars. That's so yeah, such a reggae fill. It's really good though. It's actually really back in the mix, but it's there. What's taking the main bit is a bit of a whack from guitar, but then there's a from the harp. Yeah, and the tick tick tick. Yeah, so the hi-hat, I guess, tick 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 tick, is actually the loudest thing here, just moving us forwards. A little bit of a weird choice there, but whatever. Yeah, the bass still thudding through. It feels a bit more thick. Feels like there's more going on. You've got that just being held on the whole time, making that into a permanent minor 9 chord. Apart from here. Okay, so we've got some extra counterpoint here. This didn't happen last time. Last time we got sing me a love song, sing me a love song. But this time we've got it going into that. They only heard we've been told you stay up late. And then we get a similar kind of thing, different lyrics. Return the videos there. Oh. They're late. Return the videos, they're late. So drama, isn't it? That in every way. If I could just stop hating you as well. So yeah, this is the only time. It's just on this chord that we get that that A flat as part of the melody of either of these parts, and they both go to it here. The same A flat on this D half diminished chord. Let's hear it again. And then the other parts, the strings and goodbye. They both go na, 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 leading us from that A flat to our B natural, very exciting B natural, giving us a major G chord here. And that doesn't actually feel like a 7 chord. Maybe I was wrong previously when I said it was a 7 chord. It feels like it's just a G chord. I'd feel sorry for us instead. We don't get the ba-da-da-da this time. And we also don't go back to C minor. We go to A flat. I forgot to say, when we got that extra bit at the end of the last pre-chorus in the other song, when we were doing that, or that's one of these classic chord sequences which just develop tension. Oh yeah. This is another one of those. We're not quite in it yet, so I won't spoil what's going on. But we've again got beautiful harmonies. Remember. So he's there. Is that right? So just so you know, that is a an interrupted cadence there. It's just the classic interrupted cadence in a minor key. It's really satisfying when that happens. Yeah, so we've got these melodies going like that again in thirds. And then Insane is just by himself. And we get a major F chord. We've had loads of minor F chords. And we're back to the major F chord for the first time since the last track. Oh, and this is just an amazing tonal shift. It's a tertiary shift, moving down a minor third, keeping major chord to major chord. So what do we get different between that? The A flat goes to A in this chord, and back to A flat when we go back to this chord. The E flat goes up to F, and the other note, which is C, is the one that holds them together. Oh, yeah. Great stuff, great stuff, great stuff, great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. Again, yeah, the melody line drops out for one particular bit for Robbie, which is cool, just to get those emphasized, even though they're actually less powerful because there's less notes altogether, I guess. Anyway, carrying on. It's actually in the bass, isn't it? Yeah, and the E flat actually carries on. So yeah, that. Or maybe that. Nice. So yeah, it's a first inversion chord with a seventh in it, as well as being an amazing chord by itself. We've got much more distorted guitars in here as well, but overall the groove is very similar to the general chorus groove. Yeah, I really like that. Well, thank you. We're back on the F7 chord. Thank you. A little bit over the 9 there. It was a real blast. We go to the G chord, the 5 of our key, and we just hold that 7th as the melody note. Real blast. As a full aggressive tension. And the bass goes up with us. Thank you. It was a real blast. So we end on this this first inversion chord, expecting to beautifully go back to C minor, and if we don't, we will be really hung out to dry by that. Yeah. Again, and again, yeah, the harp and the drums, same kind of thing going on there. It almost feels, yeah, it is dreamy, isn't it? Because there's this hi-hat that's really close, and then everything else is just like off in the ether. Very strange feel. And then we're back in, but we're back in on the F. God damn it, we did not go back to the C. How disappointing for everybody. This feels a lot more downbeat this time, and it's not Robbie singing it, which maybe makes something of that. Okay, so there, because of the ad-lib line taking up a lot more space than previously, the lines do run into each other. But it's nice, isn't it? Drop me a line. And it's not even in that. Oh, it is. It's the D. Drop me a line. And both voices end on the same note as we get to that chord, and then one drops down to that A flat that we only get in this section. We didn't even get it in the bridge. It's only in this bit. And he's up an octave this time. Suppose it's just a point of view. Really scratching that voice out. There's another voice there as well. Yeah, which is really nice. And it's not in thirds like we would expect, but suppose it's just a point of view, which is nice, very nice. And now we got it again. Okay. Wow, wow. Yeah, there's some scary stuff going down here now. That's our C sharp minor. Constantly bringing us to that upset minor 9th note. Never resolving fully to C sharp minor. And then the bass is just going crazy as well. What did that do? Something like that. So it's doing pentatonic licks and actually ending on the C, even though the chord changes. So we've got, I actually have a song kind of does this coincidentally. Must have been a subconscious in my mind. But yeah, we get that C sharp minor. In fact, I can't find the 7th in that. Let me just check again. Oh no. It is there actually. No, the 11th is there a little bit. But I can't find the actually. So maybe that's just mainly a C minor chord, which makes the 9 a little bit more punchy actually, because it's more aggressively against the chord. It doesn't sit quite as nicely. So, and especially when we get to our what's that? It's basically a D major, D7 chord, but we've got a C in the bass, third inversion, and we've also got this constant minor 9 fighting against it. So we've got these two different chords over the same C pedal note. Really cool. Some kind of filter sweep there. Yeah, that's a fun sound to hear. It's a little bit gimmicky to just change a section with that, but there it is. It's nice. I like it. Now this is this just kills me. It's so good. It's one of the best outros, as far as I'm concerned, of any piece of music ever. So underrated. Okay, it's a little bit melodramatic. What do you want? Should Queen be less melodramatic? Should the Beatles or the Beach Boys be less melodramatic? That is who this is following on in the tradition of, okay? It's not following on in the tradition of Take That. So don't compare it to such. It is grandiose, dramatic and exciting, and I love it for that. It has made such an impact on me that I still cannot deal with this ending of this song. There's so much amazing stuff going on. So most importantly, the drums are now behind this strange bandwidth filter wall, and they are giving one of the most aggressive sounding drum beats, much more simple than we've been hearing. It's just boom, 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 okay, very simple, very aggressive.
Everything I wanted to be, every time I walked away, every time you told me leave, I just wanted to stay.
God, Robbie's not giving the melody now, and he doesn't have to, because we've got two. We've got, which is drop me a line. Very classic sort of lament melody there, really sad sounding, while happens. We've got those two different bits of melody there. They're both built to be a question and then answer there. They're starting on the C, going away from it, and then going back to the C. But we do actually have one more chord in there. Yeah. It actually doesn't just have the D chord now and the C chord, and the bass is actually going with us. It goes to the E flat a bit early, just for colour. And to a G chord, G major, but we've also got the melody coming down. Which is even better on the D chord. Flat third of that major chord, which has a normal third in it. We've got those 2/3, and then it's the flat 6 leading to the 5, back to the C. It's so good. It's so emotive. and then the voice over the top. Well, I mean, it's working, isn't it? There's a real lyricism to it, even though he's just speaking.
Everything I wanted to be, every time I walked away.
Feels a little bit more laboured than quite normal would be.
Every time you looked at me, and every time you smiled, I felt so vacant. You treat me like a child. I love the way we used to laugh. I love the way we used to smile. Often I sit down and think of you for a while.
Ah, so the melody there in the voices changes. So it's not quite as discordant as it was before, but we've got a proper I want to say Melodia Gothica, but I don't know if that's a thing. It's such a gothic melody. Yeah, you might hear that in Bach, but you would also hear it in any of the most gothic pieces. Maybe symphony. Oh, what do you call it? Oh, is it Symphony Gothic? I can't remember. It sounds so gothic. Okay, it definitely is. People who actually read books can go and find out why. I can't tell you that, unfortunately.
And then it passes me by, and I think of someone else instead. I guess
This bit is just beyond. This bit's just beyond. Especially the way the way that the words go. Often I sit down and I think of you for a while. I love the way we used to laugh. I love the way we used to smile. Oh my God. And then it passes me by and I think of someone else instead. Such a slap in the face. And the melody of the poor other vocals, they are mourning this.
someone else instead.
Oh gosh, that note. So that's the major 7 of this minor chord. It's so powerfully not what you would hope for in that chord. Beautiful, beautiful. And that it kills me. And I don't even think we get that going down like that.
Think of someone else instead. Guess the love we once.
It sort of drifts up a bit before falling down to the flat 5 of that chord there. Now, we knew that this was a flat 5 thing, but we haven't actually heard that for a long time. We've heard the major 7 of this chord. Sorry, not major 7, the dominant 7 version of this chord, this D dominant 7. We used to hear it as the half diminished with the flat 5th in it, but it hasn't been that for a while. It's been a major version of the chord, and now it's got that flat 5th in it as well. Let me just see if I can hear a normal 5th in there.
Think of someone else instead. Guess the love we once had is
I actually can't, but I can hear that. And that one as well. Can I hear the major 3rd? If I can't, that would be a bit upsetting. It's not clear. It's not clear. I'm going to turn it massively up for a moment.
Think of someone else instead. Guess the love we once had is official.
Yeah, no, it isn't so clear there actually. But really, the feeling I get from that is not just of that, but of all of that demonic.
Think of someone else instead. Guess the love we once had is officially.
And that it sounds like it's going down to the 7th, but no, it's staying. And it's staying on that flat 9 for that last chord.
Think of someone else instead.
Ugh.
Guess the love we once had is officially dead.
So teenage. Dead. No resolution. All dead. Okay. All right. So we have spent an hour and a half talking about those 2 pieces of music. So I am just going to absolutely trash through Millennium, which is distinctly inferior to both of these previous pieces of music anyway. So here we go. A nice ring into it there. We've got pretty good bass line, which is going to come up loads, and the melody there. Sorry, I do have to stop because we've got so much going on. We've got one melody sung. The other melody is the important one. Better played than that by the strings, John Barry strings, or at least I assume it's played by them. It might not be, but it's certainly a John Barry piece of music from You Only Live Twice, the 5th James Bond film with Sean Connery, I think. And yeah, it's a beautiful piece of music, that particular one that it comes from, and that melody is really cool. It does it another time from what I remember, maybe another one after that as well. That would be an interesting journey. But yeah, it's playing the same thing, which is notes of the major scale, 8, 7, 6, 5, but then it plays it again, only our starting note is the flat 7, so it's like flat 7, 6, 5, 4. And then we just repeat that in this song. The melody of the voice does something kind of similar. They're not trying too hard to make these ones their own thing, I would say. But now we've got melody and voice and singing and words. That was the word I was looking for, coming in now. And it's really nice that we've got that. We've got the Who melody, and we've got the over the top as well. 3 different melodies. Just sounds like a nice big party. Sounds very happy. Okay, Millennium. I think basically all of this song is based around 2 different chords. One is that B flat, no, D flat major, and then the other is B flat minor. Okay, so we're gonna hear the bass and drums now with the melody. It's a nice melody. We've got it. It's basically in 2 different sections. So interestingly, on that last one there, they sort of, well, it says got to slow down, and that's kind of what it does. It slowed down. It does that over a longer time period than before, and then waits longer for as well. Well, I guess they're not over a longer time period, but they are definitely separated by a longer time period. So they do slow down, and it's word painting, and it actually just adds to the melody, keeping you interested, which is cool. Yeah, let's hear that thing.
We are players, some say that we are pawns, but we've been made.
Yeah, it's a cool little bass riff, and again we've got that triplet 16th coming in here as well, and that really makes those offbeats pop in a and it's pretty fast as well. So it really feels like a very like explosive hit when you get those two things together. Yeah, and you actually get a bum from the kick drum as well. 1, 2, da da, which is really powerful. We don't have the all the 16ths in though, and that's that makes the groove feel very, very different to the one on Strong, which was much more full overall. We've got the 8ths, but we don't have nearly all the 16ths, so it's got much more character, I would say, to the groove overall. Harmonies to the melody, they're kind of mainly thirds, but maybe some fourths, and moving together. And now they've dropped out. Slow down, slow down. This is a little bit thicker, there's a kind of thing. Oh! Another amazing fill leading us into this, and again we've got the 3 melodies again. 3 different melodies. We've got an extra line here, we didn't have this the first time, and we've got some extra harmony vocals with that as well. It's like a shovel. Let's say that again. Psychic shovel? I don't know. It's not in the lyrics, so who knows. So this is really only drums, bass, and 2 vocals, and they're working together. Now, extra bit of strings. Maybe the same drum fill there, but it's a nice one anyway. The drums do feel a lot more programmed than on the previous track. There's some kind of sounds there as well, but overall that's very similar to what we had the first chorus, or let's say the second chorus, because we kind of had a chorus at the beginning as well, although it was missing a line. This is kind of interesting. We've got the drums going as usual. Melody is fun. Come and have a go if you think you are enough. So we're jumping between the low range, come and octave jump, and then we come down by arpeggio, and then we switch to the next chord, which is the well, let's say it's a B flat minor, but it's basically a B flat minor 9 here. If we don't go if, which would be the full octave, we go up a major 7th. Go if you. No, sorry, we're coming down by arpeggio. Silly Seb. Go if you think you are. Back to the original one again. Enough. And then we just flip there into the lower voice. It's just a really fun melody actually, and it's all off the beat as well. Yeah, it's a really fun idea, especially for a section where there's nothing else moving very much at all apart from the drums. The bass has dropped out even. All you can hear else is sort of like, I want to say, sitar rumbling kind of sounds in the background. Maybe a street scene. Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly what it is, but I have a wow kind of sitar sound, and then extra stuff. Yeah, and then that, which is the most beautiful bit of the song. The strings just come in with a strong. If we're thinking of that as D flat, this is a E double flat major chord going down into a D flat major chord, which is not what you expected. The flat 2. I mean, we've only had 2 chords for this whole song. Why did we need to go so ham with the third chord. That is amazing stuff, though. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, the writers of this song. Oh yeah, and this is quite nice. I mean, you've got slightly silly harmony vocals with that melody. The melody stays the same, and the harmony vocals are really just going, come and have a go if you think. But there's na 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 going on in the background with these strings. Just adding in a little bit of extra real background stuff. Okay. And then this feels like the James Bond score that we were expecting. And first, yeah, Millennium, which is a little bit different to the Millennium we had before. And then Millennium, which is totally different, going up. And then this is the same as all our choruses, and that's what it is. We've got got an extra bit of ad lib, probably not from Robbie there. Really nice bit of is that the 7th of that chord? Yeah, cool. Sometimes you know. Okay, and then similar to Strong, we've got an extra bit of lyrical stuff to add to the chorus in this final time, which is really fun. Even if it is a bit cringe. And when we come, we always come too late. I have to think that we were born too late. Get up and see the sarcasm in my eyes. I don't know, it's fun. It's not what you would expect in any way. It doesn't seem to have any similarity to any melody we've had before this, and therefore works in a very similar way to the one in Strong, but it's less comforting than in that song. Here it's a bit annoying. And again, that time we get some harmonies with it. Actually, though, most of the other vocal melodies do drop out here. We don't even have the but we do have a horn melody doing something like that, kind of imitating this, but in a softer way. Okay, the up Millennium there. So we are now putting bits from the piece together in a different order, which is really nice. No need to comment on that. And then we slowly fade out. Okay, so that's what we got. That's Millennium. Very simple in comparison to the previous two. Not much complexity. It still has a bridge which has an unexpected flat 2 chord in it, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. All right, I think this might have to be the last one. I'll see how fast I can get through it. This is one of my brother's old favourites. Is that what it is? Yeah, so we've got a nice little bit of piano. Yeah, it's mainly just the two lines. Let's move that up. So again, we're kind of in D flat, but we get a little bit of fun between these. Again, we've got 4 notes a semitone apart in the bass here. The melody is quite nice, but not much to speak of. But the bass goes from D flat to C, so it's kind of saying this is an A flat chord, and then down to what's that? B flat. So kind of saying that this is another D flat chord. No, sorry, an E flat chord. Maybe an E flat minor. It's not clear really. It would be with the key as is. But it's just a 5th, and then actually up to C flat. So we've gone from like the 1 of the key to the 7 to the 6 to the flat 7. So we're playing around a little bit straight away with expectation of harmony, of key, of tonality. We've got hi-hats just on the offbeats here, just to keep it ticking along. Okay, and now we've got bass, drums, a little bit more. Basically kick and snare. We've also got some vibes in the left ear, as well as the piano and the vocals.
So you say nothing, feel they break the game.
I really, yeah, those are some quite good chords, but it is just chords really. The melody is following the chords pretty close. Silence shields your bed. No, sorry. Silence shields your bed. So you say nothing, feel they fruit the game. Done with loving. That's the most powerful one both times. That last E flat minor, because you've got the 9 along with it in the melody, which is really nice, and that leads us where we're going. So the F chord. So the F is our 3 chord in this key. We get the first inversion of it, and then the contrapunct. No, not wow. 2 different directions that these 2 voices are going. Bum bum bum. Only you, and then we get to the B flat minor chord there. You can see. Which is then a classic change. D flat on an A flat, second version. See the darkness in G flat major 7 chord, the northern lights, and that melody, darkness in the northern lights, is really nice, going from a 5th jump to a 6th jump. And both fit with the chords. Well, no, okay, that fits with major 7th, and then the Northern Lights is really nicely finished. But everything's very staid. Da-dub, da-dub. Caveman Phil. Yeah. So the offbeat here, we've got what's going on? We've got like a ride only on the offbeats, which is giving reggae again. And we've got a tom pattern, I think for the first time. I've not heard one. The drums are really cool here. So the snare, the crash comes in straight away. And then we've got, that ride on the offbeats. And I mean 2 and 4 there. Unless we're thinking of this really slow. But we're not. We're thinking of by vibes, I mean vibraphone, by the way. There's some vibraphone in the left ear, which is lovely, or at least there was. I think it might have changed to organ here. So as well as that ride cymbal, we do have the hi-hat on the 3rd beat at the same time as the snare, which is really cool, and then it's open and closes quite quickly. Well, it doesn't really close quickly. It sounds it's an interesting sound. I sort of feel like they might have put like a beanbag on the snare or something like that instead. It definitely feels like an actual cymbal, though. It's an interesting thing because we've got the snare and that at the same time. It's really unconventional sound. Okay, and then as well as that, our orchestration has totally changed. We had piano, we had bass, we had drums, and we had vibes, and now we've got organ and we've got guitars, and well, we do have bass and drums still, but it's really changed texture. The riff is so classic it almost doesn't require me to explain what's going on there. The 5th and the 7th of this, let's call it dominant 7th chord, but it's on our tonic, so it's a C sharp 7 or a D flat 7. Then they go down a semitone, keeping the C sharp where it is, or the D flat where it is. Let's call it C sharp. I'm fed up with D flat from the last one. They fall another semitone, and then they fall another semitone. Wah, 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 wah. So we get all these slightly devilish sounding chords over the same pedal bass note. Yeah, I didn't explain also the bop-bom, but which is happening as well. There's some cool tom thing there happening. I think every 4, so it's like doesn't happen, bop bop, but so it almost functions like a fill, but it's the same each time. It's really good. The melody's not doing too much here. It's just 3 notes. Okay, we've got some harmony coming in there from extra vocals, but also I always wanna feel this way. We get that extra note. I feel this way. Go 1 higher, our classic way of making things more exciting. And then way we go down lower as well, and we change the harmony, and we end up on the major 2. We've had that before on this album. Doesn't sound too out of the way. 7 chord, and yes, on the organ it's because we've got that shaky sound from the spinning cabinet. Yeah, what's the bass doing there? And that leads us to our next chord. So we did have the E flat on there. Well, I'm not going to call it D sharp. E flat 7. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's not that though, is it? I think it is that later. Okay. Oh yeah. Another C flat chord there. C flat 7 as well. So it's got a B double flat in it. Ooh. Just like a phoenix from the flame. Just sounds pretty like old-fashioned cool. Has not quite aged with the same cool. And we're back to the beginning. Same thing again. Are we going to end 3, 4? Yes. I shouldn't have said 3, 4 there either, because it's really 1, 2 and then in. So it has a little shortening of the bar there. This is a little bit more moving than what we had last time, but we still have this pause. And then this is a lot bigger. We've got harmony vocals straight away. We've got us, which is enjoyable, greatly enjoyable. It feels almost gospel-y here. You know, it's obviously talking about phoenixes, which are not in the Bible, but it certainly feels very, you know, everybody together, everybody excited about this new coming thing. Yeah. Yeah, that just on way, it really changes the groove very quickly. Suddenly we've got quite a lot more tom coming in on the drums, nowhere near as much cymbal. Okay, and then this does still go to that C flat chord there. And then this is what is this ridiculous piece of music that's suddenly happened? Well, from this C flat we didn't need to go back to the D flat there, and we didn't. We treated this as if this was our dominant chord, and then we went to the new tonic, which is E. We were in D flat and now we are in E, and that is just how these things happen sometimes. But we're not going to spend long there. Let's count the bars. Okay, we're already away. So we basically had 2 bars of E there, and then we went to the major 3 of the key. Then to the we're in D flat minor. It's not exactly very far away from where we were. C sharp minor, if you want. That's, I guess, closer related to E, but we could have been in F flat the whole time. Did you think about that? If you didn't, you would probably be forgiven for not thinking about it, because it doesn't matter. It's completely useless information. Okay, and then we're back into this. So what did we do there? We had E. Also, we had this absolutely ridiculous yeah, again with the 16th 16th swing, which hasn't been in the piece previous, so it must just be someone involved in this album's penchant. And then, yeah, from that E to G sharp, we're in C sharp minor. Everybody says you're gonna take it to. This is just everything does this. To melody is really nice. Everybody says you're gonna take it too far, baby, now. That's just a big build up sus4 on the dominant chord, changing, and then yeah, that's where we are. We're in D flat again. With such a boomer chord sequence. To the flat 3, to the flat 7, to the 4. Yeah! And mostly importantly, on the second chord, we actually do more of a Linkin Park kind of thing where one of the melody notes doesn't follow the chord change. And so we get an extended chord with the add 9 there. But the other ones are pretty straightforward. And those things are happening with Mr. Man, Robbie, on top, just doing his own ad-libs, and a guitar solo on top. That's one of those classic guitar riffs. It's in like it's in All Along the Watchtower. It's in a lot of Dire Straits songs. It's in Freebird, kind of. So yeah, that is a real old doozy. Okay, and then after our third version of that sequence, we've ended on the 5 chord again, building up. Okay, and then we're back into the chorus. It's bigger than ever. We got a bit of a flange on that guitar. I can't remember if we had that before. Kind of, is that a flange? Maybe that's more of a phaser. I can never remember the difference when I just listen to them. I think it's... can't tell you. The backing vocals sound bigger. That's really nice. The bass doesn't do the same walking thing as it's done previously. It does something like that. And then this time when we get to that end chord, we just go straight back with a belting fill from the drums, just straight back into the thing, straight back into the chorus. Okay, but we don't rise together this time. We do. Can you feel it? Or Robbie doesn't. Oh, there was some really exciting drums there. And it's a fill, and it's not at the end of the 4 bars, so yeah, it really sticks out, even though, well, actually I've never noticed it before. It sticks out when you're looking for it. There's an exciting curate's egg. No, that's not the right word. Easter egg, I guess. Nice bit, nice of the strings to join us in full force just for the ending there, with a nice whole tone melody. And we're the highest note now. We have come to this before. Come on! We've been doing it there, but now he's really holding it the whole time. Coming in on the offbeat there, which is fun. And we've got some extra words again. And I feel that actually kind of makes this song. It doesn't feel as silly as the ones in Millennium. It feels like you are really, changing who you're talking to, or at least changing the way in which you're talking to them. You've been really bigging them up. You've been like, come with me on this incredible journey of resurrection. We're gonna rise, and it's gonna be incredible. And then it's like, well, just try and deny it. So clearly there's some pushback that they've received, and they are just standing stalwartly against that pushback, which is really cool. Just suddenly before the end of the song, just for 2 lines, and then we go back to where we were.
Just like a phoenix from the flame.
Sorry. But the bass there has 2 different notes, which is lovely. Down there as well.
Just like a phoenix from the flame.
Yeah. Really cool bass line. And yeah, all those voices sound thick as anything. Very good. Right, well, I have gone down in the amount I've been able to cover over a bloody hour or 2. So, well, where do we go from here? Maybe this album will take 3 weeks to go through. But what I am hoping is that it will not, and it will in fact take 2, and I will just smash through the rest of it. We will see, because frankly, that's not even 20 minutes of music that I've been looking at there. And the album is, I mean, it says 1 hour 15, but that's partly because there are 2 hidden tracks on the final song. But that said, if we take off, say, half of that for silence, that still leaves us with 1 hour of music. 1 hour of music, 40 minutes of music remaining. Okay, well, we will give it a go. I can't promise anything, but yeah, see you then.